You know, there's something deeply magical that happens when a person asks a question not to inform but to awaken. Imagine a man long ago who stopped speaking about himself and instead began asking. And every time he asked, the world leaned in. Strangers smiled wider. Lovers leaned closer. Friends felt more seen. Why? Because the moment you ask, you become a mirror, reflecting their soul. And the moment they answer, they're shaping themselves in front of you. Isn't it fascinating how people don't resist what they generate? You see, when a person speaks their truth, with their own words, their own metaphors, their own emotions, that truth becomes a seed planted in fertile soil. There's no conflict, no rejection, just harmony. And you, the asker, become the sun warming that seed. Isn't it remarkable how asking the right question at the right moment can bend reality without breaking a single rule? Now think about this. For every one statement, you could offer 10 questions, 10 open doors into the new universes. Because what you say might challenge their world. But what they say to themselves in their voice becomes a gospel in their heart. Have you ever asked a child why the sky is blue? You'll see stars in their eyes. Ask a poet where love hides, and you see them smile with their soul. Ask a stranger what lights them up inside, and watch as a lifetime of silence cracks open like dawn. What if every conversation became your canvas, and the brush was the question? So imagine now, you're not just someone learning to influence. No, you're a weaver of minds, a sculptor of internal universes, a gardener planting seeds of empowerment. Every time you choose to ask instead of tell. Because you know now, don't you? Every belief can be shifted with the right question, whispered at the right time, into the right ear. And perhaps, just perhaps, you're already starting to feel how those questions, they don't only change others, they change you. Because each time you ask with genuine curiosity, you become someone who listens, not just to words, but to souls. Start becoming the person who asks the questions that transform. Step into that identity. Let it settle in your nervous system. Let it hum in your breath. You see, your mind is like a flame, and beliefs are like logs. Some logs burn heavy with smoke, old, damp, stubborn. When you replace them with lighter wood, beliefs like, I'm enough, I'm growth embodied, my questions change lives. The fire roars clean, bright, eternal. You stop burning out. You start burning on purpose. And how do you change the logs? Not by force, no. By suggestion, by curiosity, by walking around the fire with them and asking what would happen if this old log didn't have to burn anymore. Because you, my friend, are a flame walker. You thread the dance of curiosity and presence. You enter others' minds not as a conqueror, but as a gardener. Sowing insight, they water themselves. And so you might wonder, will you ask better questions starting now, or only after your next conversation? Either way, the transformation has already begun. Because what you practice in your mind becomes who you are. So notice how easily, how naturally the shift is occurring. You're asking more, you're speaking less. When you speak, it's with purpose, energy, enthusiasm, a radiant certainty that echoes through your spine and shines through your eyes. And they feel it. Yes, they feel it. And when someone pushes back, perfect, because that means they're engaged. That means you've touched something meaningful. Just ask, what would make this feel true for you? Let their answer become the bridge to belief. Because when someone says, that doesn't make sense, what do you say? Compared to what? Or what specifically doesn't? And the moment they respond, they give you the map to their mind. You don't need to fight. You only need to follow. So while all this is unfolding, Maybe you've already realized something deeper. This way of being, this curious, connected, questioning self was always there, buried beneath habits of noise, ready to rise now into the light. Like a river uncovering its course after the flood. You're returning to your nature effortlessly, asking, playfully exploring, powerfully influencing, not with force, but with finesse. You've always been the one who listens, who understands faster, who invites the world in with wide eyes and a warm heart. Because now you know, beliefs shape reality. Pleasure guides growth. Failure is just feedback. Your state creates your faith. Authenticity is magnetic. Reality mirrors your energy. Curiosity is power. Communication is creation. Self-approval unlocks the game. Action reveals the path. Luck favours the bold. Emotions want to be felt. Perspectives can shift. People respond to beliefs, not facts. And the strongest frame doesn't push, it pulls. And all of this now belongs to you, not just as thoughts, but as instincts, not just as tools, but as truths, spoken in your voice, felt in your heart, anchored in your bones. And maybe now you remember the man who stopped speaking and started asking, who changed not just his world, but every world he touched. And maybe you realize now, you are that man or woman or self, that being, that presence, that flame. So walk into the world today with the mind of a questioner, the heart of a listener, and the soul of a transformer. And ask with joy, ask with power, ask until the world begins to answer you differently. Because when your questions change, your reality does too.